Kelly's looking at them, and she says, honey, take it from a stage 4 cancer patient. If you can make somebody that happy, something tells me that's what you're supposed to be doing.
From comedic wedding proposals to personal rituals that keep him grounded, Steve Perry's lifestyle is a tapestry of passion, hidden drama, and surprising everyday joys. Before officially joining Journey, did you know the sneaky trick the band's manager used to test Perry's vocals without alarming the original lead singer? Drop your guesses below. I'll reveal the answer later. Keep watching for the daily habits, favorite pastimes, and behind-the-scenes moments that illustrate the vibrant world of this legendary performer. But to truly appreciate how he built such a fulfilling routine, we have to travel back to the very start, where pivotal twists shaped it all. Early life. Steve Perry's childhood was a fusion of warm family moments and deeper, more complex emotions, an experience that would later echo throughout his lifestyle. Born on January 22, 1949 in Hanford, California, he grew up listening to his father, Raymond Perry, belt out songs on stage and co-manage a local radio station. That early exposure to live performance sparked something in young Steve, yet it was Sam Cooke's Cupid, heard during a car ride with his mother, that ignited his dream of becoming a singer. Things weren't all harmonious, though. His parents eloped against his grandfather's wishes, only to divorce when Perry was still a child. Left with an upheaval of emotions, he and his mother found refuge on his grandparents' dairy farm. Even during these uncertain times, humor had a way of sneaking in. He often recalled laughing with his mother at the squeaky noises of the barn, using laughter to push away the gloom that threatened to settle in. At age 12, he received a gold eighth-note pendant from his mother, a token he still wears for luck. Perry would later describe this gift as both a physical memento and an emotional anchor, something that grounded him whenever life felt overwhelming. In high school, he played drums in the marching band, calling that era a magical time of innocence and new possibilities. Although he briefly attended college, the pull of music proved stronger than any traditional path. It was in those early years, balancing heartbreak from his parents' separation and the newfound joy of creating music, that Steve Perry began laying the foundation for his distinctive lifestyle. Nevertheless, it's in his skyrocketing career and relentless pursuit of success that we truly see the next pivotal stage of his story unfold. Career and success. Steve Perry's career trajectory took off in a rather covert, and yes, slightly comedic manner. Remember that sneaky trick by Journey's manager? Herbie Herbert, wary of upsetting the then lead singer, secretly posed Perry as a Portuguese cousin roadie and let him perform during a sound check. The band was blown away, and from that moment, Perry's legendary run with Journey was set in motion. Drawing on the emotional grit from his childhood, those long drives listening to Sam Cooke, the tumult of his parents' divorce, Perry poured raw feeling into iconic albums like Infinity, Escape, and Frontiers. His soaring vocals on Open Arms propelled Journey to worldwide fame. But it wasn't all glory. Clashes within the band and the relentless demands of touring weighed heavily on him. Perry tried to find moments of levity where he could. Once, he jokingly considered attending a fan's wedding just for the surprise factor, but the pressures of stardom were no laughing matter. In 1984, he released his solo album, Street Talk, scoring a massive hit with Oh Sherry, which further complicated his relationship with Journey. As his fame grew, Perry also struggled with the personal cost of success. Injuries, band tensions, and the death of his mother all contributed to a period of deep introspection. Ultimately, he parted ways with Journey, stepping away when he felt his health and happiness were on the line. Yet that brief break turned into a longer hiatus as he grappled with the emotional fallout of both personal and professional losses. Nevertheless, once the big checks started rolling in from multi-platinum albums and ongoing royalties, Perry's financial world took on its own dramatic story, one that would shape his future decisions and lifestyle. Income and net worth. Steve Perry's financial journey, estimated at around $70 million, is as dynamic as his vocals. During his early days with Journey, the onslaught of multi-million-dollar royalties from hits like Don't Stop Believin' and Open Arms transformed his bank account overnight. Rumor has it he wasn't one to splurge on flashy items, though fans often joked about him buying a fleet of golden microphones. He preferred channeling his earnings into real estate investments and securing future royalties. When he officially left Journey, Perry negotiated a savvy deal that granted him a chunk of the band's post-departure profits. This ensured he stayed financially comfortable despite stepping out of the spotlight. While he's acknowledged creative burnout, those steady checks allowed him the breathing room to seek new passions and enjoy life on his terms. Furthermore, it's his distinct day-to-day habits and personal rituals that reveal the real heartbeat of Steve Perry's lifestyle. Lifestyle insights. Steve Perry's day-to-day life is a fascinating blend of quiet introspection, playful moments, and deep emotional resonance, much of which has its roots in the personal challenges and triumphs we've already touched upon. Despite his iconic status, he's been known to spend more time at home than in the limelight. In fact, one of his favorite ways to unwind is by dancing, but only in private. He's joked that he'll never cut a rug on stage, preferring to save those moves for his living room. This playful streak also showed up in a comedic encounter with a fan who asked him to sing at her wedding. He half-teased that, "You never know," a classic example of how he keeps a sense of humor amid the pressures of public attention. When it comes to daily rituals, Perry's vocal routine stands out. He's described his voice as a high-wire act, requiring constant care and mindful practice. Long walks, simple vocal warm-ups, and deliberate periods of rest help protect his range, a routine he credits for keeping his voice in shape even during his hiatus. Beyond music, he cherishes baseball and famously celebrated in 2005 with the Chicago White Sox during their World Series run, reminding everyone that, above all, he's simply a lover of the sport. Philanthropy also plays a sizable role in Perry's lifestyle. After losing his girlfriend Kelly Nash to cancer, he became an advocate for cancer awareness, sharing personal accounts of coping with loss and encouraging others to seek support. His generosity extends to youth initiatives too. In 2021, he auctioned off his cherished 1979 Mercedes-Benz 450 SL convertible, complete with a custom tux jacket and autographed album, to benefit the Junior Giants, a free baseball program for underserved communities. That donation was more than just a financial gesture. It was a heartfelt tribute to how baseball shaped his own joyous moments. Controversy has never been too far behind him, though. Swirling rumors about feuds and disagreements often overshadowed his fundamentally down-to-earth routine. Despite the whispers, Perry has consistently described his decisions as personal ones, driven by the need to protect his voice and mental well-being. Known to have a low-key social media presence, Perry has repeatedly warned fans about scammers impersonating him online. Yet another example of how he tries to maintain authenticity in an often impersonal digital age. Perhaps the biggest lifestyle transformation came after his extended break from music. The time away allowed him to explore life's simpler pleasures, like taking scenic hikes, even if one ill-fated outing in Hawaii led him to discover a serious hip problem, cooking at home, and nurturing a circle of close friends. From the outside, it might seem a far cry from the stadium tours that made him famous, but Perry often speaks of a richer kind of fulfillment these days, a pace that allows him to honor his voice, stay connected to loved ones, and savor the quiet moments he once sacrificed for the stage. Humor and heartbreak, philanthropic outreach, and personal reflection. These are the pillars of Steve Perry's everyday world. It's a testament to how someone so widely celebrated can also live a life steeped in genuine warmth and private joys. Each chapter of his journey, be it a shy boogie in his living room or an emotional tribute to a loved one, is marked by the same poignant sincerity that defined his voice in Journey's heyday. Still, to fully grasp how the personal ties in his life have shaped him even further, we need to uncover the deeper relationships and connections that proved instrumental at every step. Relationships and connections. Steve Perry's relationships have always been woven into the fabric of his life and music. Take his early bond with his father Raymond, whose lullabies and stage presence sparked Perry's fascination with singing. Though his parents' divorce weighed on him emotionally, he channeled the heartache into a drive that led him to form powerful connections elsewhere. Romantically, his high-profile link to Sherry Swafford in the 1980s gave him moments of laughter and stability in the face of fame's relentless schedule. Later came Kelly Nash, whose battle with cancer reshaped Perry's priorities and inspired his comeback album, Traces. The poignant mix of love and loss underscored the importance of genuine intimacy in a life swirling with fan adoration and sold-out arenas. His friendships also carried weight. A dinner with Brian Wilson became a cherished memory, two musical legends bonding over personal stories. And while rumors flared surrounding Neil Schon and other Journey members, Perry speaks of those years with a reflective acceptance. What some saw as battles were, in Perry's eyes, personal struggles compounded by industry pressures. Throughout it all, a hint of humor threaded through his interactions, like teasing a fan about singing at her wedding, showing he never lost the playful spark from his younger days. However, to understand how these personal ties shaped his sense of home and refuge, we have to step into the world of Steve Perry's real estate, a domain filled with both emotion and financial savvy. Real estate. Steve Perry's property choices mirror his blend of emotional roots and measured opulence. His Larkspur, California home remains a sentimental touchstone. Acquired when his career was skyrocketing, it was once shared with Swafford during that era of breakout solo success. While it has an understated charm, Perry's other holdings, like his Mediterranean-style mansion in Del Mar, highlight the financial freedom that multi-platinum albums and savvy royalty deals afforded him. From a high-end Seattle waterfront residence to an Adobe-style estate in Santa Fe, each of Perry's properties revealed different facets of his personality: a penchant for privacy, a love of scenic tranquility, and a nod to the comforts he once yearned for as a child craving stability. Nonetheless, the vehicles he's owned and even auctioned for charity unveil yet another layer of this iconic singer's lifestyle. Vehicles and cars. Steve Perry's most cherished four-wheeled possession was his 1979 Mercedes-Benz 450 SL convertible. He affectionately called it his favorite car, using it for countless writing and rehearsal commutes. In a heartfelt twist, he later auctioned it off, tux jacket and autographed album included, to benefit the Junior Giants charity. Another notable ride was his 1986 American Motors Jeep CJ7 Laredo, driven sparingly before being sold for a good cause. After parting ways with Journey, Perry found a new sense of freedom in a 1987 Harley-Davidson Softail Custom. Though he rarely rode it, putting only 557 miles on the odometer, the motorcycle symbolized a shift in his life, representing the open road he felt he needed after years of touring and internal band pressures. He's not known for owning any high-flying jets, luxury yachts, or personal helicopters, preferring a grounded lifestyle and channeling his wealth into real estate and charitable endeavors instead. Though all these vehicles are just one facet of his journey, his current status reveals where this legendary voice and soul truly stand today. Current lifestyle. Steve Perry's recent path reflects a mix of nostalgia and renewed creativity. In November 2024, he unveiled The Season 3, expanding on his 2021 holiday release with 6 fresh tracks, including a tender rendition of Call Me Irresponsible, turned into a duet with a long-lost recording of his father. Calling it a holiday miracle, Perry showed once again that music remains his main language of deep, heartfelt expression. Beyond the studio, he's kept a modest social media presence, mostly sharing updates on new projects or heartfelt anecdotes from his life. He has also popped up at local events, reminding everyone that despite his legendary status, he's still approachable. Collaborations continue to keep him inspired. His cameo on Dolly Parton's rock album Rockstar in 2023 was a highlight, demonstrating the respect he commands across the industry. These days, Perry talks openly about balancing the weight of his past with an unquenchable desire to discover what lies ahead. He's mentioned the joy he feels in smaller moments, like sipping coffee in the morning or tinkering with songs in his home studio, free from the relentless pace of yesteryear's touring schedules. Emotionally, his advocacy for cancer awareness honors the memory of Kelly Nash. Rather than shy away from that loss, he's used it to speak honestly about grief, hope, and finding the courage to sing again. Fans hold out hope for live appearances, but Perry seems content to move at his own rhythm, focusing on personal happiness and creative fulfillment rather than returning to the exhausting cycle of global tours. Whether it's his secret audition to join Journey, his private passion for dancing, or his moving duet with his late father, there's so much about Steve Perry that might leave you in awe. Share your most surprising discovery in the comments below. Click the like button and subscribe for more deep dives. And don't forget to check out our related videos for more insights.